Are we ready?
So basically, you just want the African American Studies Department to have access, but you don't want the library to then take them, put them into their vast archives.
Home.
I didn't know
missed her
she-
last night too. I didn't get to say goodnight to her.
I didn't know you was gonna get involved in this. I've known her
Anita?
for a long time. You know, well, since they come to Zanesville.
Yeah, Jerry.
Mhm.
Yeah, you probably coached some of Jerry's games.
Yeah, well, he used to play for our basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
We had semi-pro basketball, and Jerry played for years with us.
He was a pretty good basketball player.
Oh, yeah.
He was outstanding basketball player.
Yes, was born pretty good. You're right. He's outstanding.
And did he play in Detroit with Detroit?
Yeah, I think he tried out for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he tried out for them. Yeah.
He stayed with my dad, during the summertime sometimes, when he was going to OU. And
Did
he? Yeah. Okay, Paul, I'm going to go ahead and start this by saying, my name is Ada Woodson Adams, and today is July 16th, 2006. I'm interviewing,
Paul Myers.
and we're at the Holiday Inn.
How do you spell that? I'm sorry.
Myers.
Thank you.
Okay, we're at the Holiday Inn in Zanesville, Ohio, and we're interviewing for the African American presence in the Ohio River Valley Oral History Project. And Paul, I'm happy that you have taken time out from your busy schedule to talk with us about your family history. And can you just, for the record, give me your date of birth and where you were born?
October 18th, 1941.
Okay, and if you can repeat the question after I ask it for me, I appreciate it.
Okay.
If my question is too lengthy, just shorten it so that, okay. And where were you born?
Zanesville, Ohio.
Okay, and your father's name it was?
Byron Myers.
Okay, and was he born? Where was he born?
He was born in Chesterhill, Ohio,
In what year?
in 1900.
And your mother's name, maiden name?
Amelia Simpson.
Amelia Simpson. And where was she born, Paul?
She was born in Zanesville, Ohio,
Okay. And what year was your mother born?
in 1910.
Okay. And you might say my mother was born in 1910.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt. When you rub your shirt, the microphone's picking that up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, it's just kind
You
of.
mean to start over?
No,
Okay.
you're fine, but if you can just try not to do that, it'll make the sound clear. Appreciate it.
Okay. We can take a hat off and we'll not do it.
That-
No,
Hats
it's
off.
okay.
Hats off to Mary.
Okay. All right.
That's fine.
All right. Paul, how did your father get to Chesterhill? I mean, let me restate that. Your father was born in Chesterhill, Ohio,
Yes.
and how did his father and mother get to Chesterhill, Ohio?
His father was George Myers, and he came to Chesterhill, Ohio from Barnesville, Ohio.
Okay, and.
Now, his mother was Jessie Stoniker. Jessie Stoniker was in Chesterhill. I want to say that. I think she was in Chesterhill before when George's father, Jeremiah, moved there. She worked in the household for Jeremiah Myers.
Okay, was Jeremiah Myers a person of color?
Yes.
And how did she come to work for him?
Well, Jeremiah come to Chesterhill, Ohio from Barnesville, Ohio. And they purchased a farm in Chesterhill, and she hired her to work as a maid in the house.
Were there other Stoningers who lived in Chesterhill at the time?
Stonikers?
Stoningers?
Don't think so. See, she had a twin sister named Blanche, and I think they Blanche, and then Rose, and then had a brother named Guy Stoniker, and I think they were up around Malta.
Okay. How do you spell Stoniker?
I don't really remember how
Okay,
it's spelled.
Okay. If I mispronounce it, forgive me. Okay, Stoniker. Then, Jeremiah, was he married at the time when he came into Chesterhill?
Yes.
Okay. And, how many children did Jeremiah and his wife have?
Jeremiah and his wife had 15 children.
Do you know them all?
I can name quite a few of them. I don't know whether I can name them all or not.
Can you name a few of Jeremiah's children?
Well, I'll name the three, start off with the three that went to Michigan from here.
Okay.
And that was William, Johnny, Robert, and later on, maybe 20 years later on, Nathan Myers that went to Michigan.
Okay.
Now, the ones that were in Chesterhill were Tom, Clark, George, Ezekiel, there was another one by the name of Caleb that left the same time the brothers went to Michigan, but he went to Oregon. And then there were the girls, Amanda. She left and went to Virginia. She married a Norman, and they moved to Virginia. And then the next girl's name was Cassandra, and she married a male. And the baby girl was Martha, and she married a male. So I don't know how many of them I got there. It's,
Wonderful.
how many of them was there?
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Baby girl was Cassandra.
It was Martha.
Martha, okay, that's 14. And whose children are these that you just named?
Jeremiah Myers and Mary Ann Harper.
Children.
Children, yeah.
Let's talk about the families that moved to Michigan. And can you tell me about, and just restate my question, why did these three move to Michigan?
Why did these three brothers move to Michigan? Well, there's been a story in our family that Jeremiah didn't believe in fighting. These three boys were old enough to go to the Civil War. And plus, Uncle Caleb was old enough to go, the one that went out in Oregon. And we think from the stories in the family that he made them get out of the state of Ohio. For you look in his family, and nobody in his family fought in the Civil War. He had a brother that lived down in Barnesville named Philip that had 4 of his boys fighting the war. And then another brother, Thomas, and another brother, John, which we don't have much access to. I do know one of Thomas's boys fought in the Civil War. But none of Jeremiah's kids fought in the Civil War, so we kind of believed he didn't believe in that, so he sent the boys that were old enough to fight to get away. And of course, my grandpa was 10 years old at that time, so it didn't affect him.
Mm-hmm. Who was your grandpa?
George Myers.
Okay, George. Okay. About what year would you say then Jeremiah started sending his sons away? I know it was before the Civil War, but just repeat, what year did Jeremiah send his boys out of Ohio?
Okay, these boys I'm talking about, the first one was born in 1834. And I think that was Johnny. In 1835, Will was born, William. And I think there's a little gap there before you get to Robert. Like it might have been a 10-year difference or 8-year difference in there. These boys were, and Uncle Caleb, they were all up old enough to fight in the war. So if you 34 up to 64, I'd made one of the boys 26 years old. So it was all right in there, old enough to fight in the war. And seemed like to me there was a couple of other boys in there too, but and boys died early in life, but they didn't live up to that age. I think like Clark and Tom died early. One of them got kicked by a horse, and the injuries eventually killed him. So they never got up old enough to fight in that. Those two there. And Ezekiel, I don't have anything to tell you about Ezekiel. I don't know whatever happened to him. And the rest of those kids were all young enough that they didn't have to go. And we think that's why. From the stories in the family, that's what it sounded like, that they made them get out of the state. And then someone went to Michigan and whatever they want done to keep them fighting.
When they got to Michigan, where did they live and what did they do?
They lived up around, when they got to Michigan, they lived up around a place called Mecosta. There's 3 counties up there, one in Macomb County and one's, I can't remember what the other 2 is, but there's about 3 counties up there by Mecosta, Michigan, where they went up there and they have an old settlers reunion up there, and they were part of that. And that's where they went at in Michigan.
Did they have land when they got there?
No, I think they purchased land after they got there. They didn't have it before it went there. Here I am.
Okay. What I'd like for you to do is just tell me what you know about the families in Michigan.
Well, we didn't, after that happened, down here locally, we didn't really know what happened to the family. We never heard that much. So we heard about this old settlers reunion. My dad decided way back when that he wasn't going to go up there visiting people for various reasons. So we come to find out that the reasons that he thought wasn't actually true. So I had a brother that went up there to this old settlers reunion and found all these relatives that come out of these boys. And so we started going up there then, and that's probably 1980. And that's how we got back in contact with the family, through this old settlers reunion. And them people had heard about us down there, and the same story existed up there it did down here, and so that's why they never come down here and visit us. Now, my dad believed that for 80 years. He was 80 years old when he went up there and he met some second cousins that, he never even knew existed, and he had a glorious time. He went there every year until he died.
Is there a reason that you can state that they felt was the reason why they didn't visit back and forth?
Yes, because my dad claimed that they passed for whites, so he wasn't going to reveal that. It isn't that he had an animosity against them. He just said, no, I'm not going to reveal that. And once we got up there and found out that just a few in the family, like a few in the family down here did, found out that happened, then you get the same story up there. Them people up there believe the same thing that happened down here. And so they never come to visit.
Do you know how that story, once you start visiting the old settlers reunion, did you hear other stories about other families and what happened to them when they got to Michigan? What were some of the things you found out about the people in Michigan?
Well,
the lives they lived?
I found out that the people that went up there done pretty good. They prospered pretty good. And something else we found out, that we went up there looking for my father's folks, and we'd found my mother's folks up there too. And here